Sorry about the live, guys. I'll find you. Right. Okay. All right, guys. So welcome again to another episode of Motivational Monday, where each one teach one. Joining us, we have Youni-t, and Phillia is going to read her bio.
Yes. Hey, Youni-t. Welcome.
Hello.
All right, Youni-t. So the Ivory Queen of Soca is the first and only All American and Caucasian female to solidify herself as a force to be reckoned with in the soca music game. Using soca as the foundation of her sound, she adds sprinkles of American mainstream genres to create her own unique flavor she calls Socamerica. Youni-t has performed live and promoted her soca music in Trinidad during Carnival season every year since 2013. She continuously releases music and performs at carnivals throughout the USA year-round. Youni-t proudly flies the flag for both TNT and America as an ambassador of soca music and Trinidad and Tobago and carnival culture. In 2019, she was nominated Florida Soca Artist of the Year by the International Soca Awards Committee in Miami, Florida. Her ultimate goal is to help take soca to the mainstream masses and establish soca as a mainstream genre of music around the globe. The only thing stronger than her laser-sharp focus and iron will is her diamond pipes that she plans to use to shatter the glass ceiling of soca and introduce it to every corner of the world. That is beautiful.
Yes.
Congrats. Welcome.
Yes, so
Thank
we want
you
to
for
say
your
welcome
patience.
and thank you for, hanging with us today
Yes.
on Motivational Monday. This is Phillia. I'm Phyllis.
Yes.
Thank you so much again for taking the time out. So we want to start with a few questions. Soca music. How did you get started?
Soca found me, actually.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about it all until here that I was just brought into the studio by a bandmate of mine. I was working in a cover band in Miami. I had not been in Miami long at all. And I went into the studio and we were trying to figure out which kind of a sound would be best for my voice to do like a whole album.
Right.
And I've sung a whole bunch of different genres. It was real tricky to just pick one. And my producer happens to be Trinidadian and lived in Brooklyn his whole life and born in Brooklyn, but Trini fam. So his goal was always to help push soca further. So he brought the idea to me, and I didn't know what it was. I had never heard soca music. The only thing I knew about carnival was Brazil, because I had seen a couple bikinis and some feathers once upon a time. So introduced me to the culture, music, and the whole festival idea that went with it. And I just thought it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, not only musically, but also, human connection-wise, that I just thought I would love to get involved in this and help bring it to people that don't know anything about it. If they don't know the culture, if they don't know the music, if they don't know what carnival's all about, I would love to do my part to, see if I could help. And the beauty in picking soca was that his ability to fuse music with pretty much everything then opened the gates wide open for us to be able to say, I don't have to just do one lane of music. I don't have to just do rock and roll. I don't have to just do R&B. I don't have to do country. I can say, let's take soca and fuse it with everything. Let's do hip hop. Let's do African flavors. Let's do anything. So It was this great opportunity to meld everything together musically, to meld people together socially, and do it all in a big bow of fun, festival, and freedom. And there you go. It was definitely a game changer for me and hit the nail right on the head for what I was looking to do. So it worked out.
Very good.
Fantastic. Yes. And you assimilate so well. Like, it's so beautiful to hear your voice and, in the soca flavor. Like, you embody what that is. And that's really nice to see.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was a lot of work.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
Something it was. It was quite a bit of work, but I said if I'm going to do it, I have to do it right.
Yes,
so I got busy and did the best I could. So that means a lot.
And you know, with that called consistency too, because you've been consistent from since
2013, right?
13?
Right. Yeah. 2009 is when I did my first soca track in Miami, and I started coming to Trinidad and Tobago to push during the carnival season back 2013, 2014 years when I first touched down in the Mecca. So it's been a minute.
Yes, it has been. So give us a little background on yourself.
I was born and raised in Wisconsin.
So
a tiny town of only 2,000 people.
Right.
Very, very limited group of people as far as like it's pretty much all white and Native American. I think we had one Asian boy who was adopted in the community, and I think one half Native, half African American girl in the whole place. Wow. So it was very, limited in what I saw around me every day, which is the other thing that brought me to soca and made me like really excited about it is, just to be able to branch out and, take in a whole different part of the world that was not something that I had ever experienced. Right. So I come from that, but I've been around the block a few times,
right,
as they say.
Very.
I've lived in Kenya, Africa. I've lived in the Chicago area. I've lived in Miami. I've lived in Indiana. I've lived in, I've been here and there just kind of following. I've been following music. I first went to Kenya to teach music back in 2004,
nice.
Back in
2000.
Yeah, in Kenya. Yeah. I went there just after I finished my degree. I got an opportunity to go across and go to Kenya, so I went there. I met some exchange students at university, and they said, "Oh my gosh, Kenya would love you. You need to go." And I just wrote a letter to a school that was about 5 miles away from my friend in college, his mom's house. And
right.
It's like, my mom lives right by that school. Send him a letter. So I did, and they said, "Yeah, we could use a music teacher. You want to come?" I said, "Sure."
Wow.
So that, I've just always been kind of following the music and just following wherever life took me, and here we all are.
Very nice, eh?
I think what I love about that is that it shows that you can literally be born anywhere and come from any upbringing and any family dynamic, yes. But you are who you are, and no one can teach that, right. And it's like, you were so different from probably your peers and anything around you, and you were able to elevate yourself in a different type of way, yes. And branch out. And it's like you seem so far removed from where you came from. So how do your peers that you grew up with or people in your town, how do they see you? Like, do you seem like so alien to them, like when you come back to visit?
No. Well, here's the thing about me. Everybody knew growing up that I was the big mouth crazy one. So,
so it was always in you.
I've always sung. I've always been, I was always in drama. I was always in theater. I was lucky. I had a lot of friends. I had, a supportive family that encouraged me to not be shy or, I just am naturally an outgoing person. So when they see what I'm doing, they're kind of like, "What are you doing?"
Yes.
But it's not it's not in a judgmental way, because they know I'm just going to do what I do.
Right.
And that's part of the reason, hopefully, they love me.
Yeah.
But, it kind of just, I think they have a fun time, because some people, being from a town that small, venturing out of that is a scary thing, you know, and I think that's probably why I tend to understand Trinidadians a bit, because it's an island where everybody is literally surrounded by water together. I was surrounded by cornfields and cows, but it's still a limiting factor.
Yes.
So
yes.
I kind of feel like if you have, some people have that in them to say, "I want to see what else there is, and I'm not afraid." And other people say, "Well, you go do it and I'll watch you, and I just enjoy watching you do it." And so a lot of them, I took a few friends. I did Carnival Caribbean festival up in Minneapolis this year in Minnesota, and some of my friends came with me and saw me for the first time on stage there, and they just came wide-eyed and ready, because they wanted to experience it. They wanted to see what it was all about. And that's still a building carnival as far as trucks and costumes. But the concept, the idea, the music, it's building. So, they're open. So they just say, okay, girl, you blaze the crazy trail. And we'll go wherever, or the bus is train, wherever we're comfortable. Yes. And you do the rest. So they're very good. They get that, you never know what you're going to get with me, and that's okay with them. So it works out.
That's very
awesome.
Good.
Yes,
and
different.
Taking soca into those areas that they really never heard soca. I mean, that is so fantastic. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
And it's fun. It's fun to see people's eyes light up and say, oh my gosh, what's that? Or, explain this to me, and let me try this food, and let me, they're in it. People want to belong. Like, it's like anything. You show up to a place and everybody wants to belong. It doesn't matter if it's soca music, if it's reggae, if it's hip-hop, pop, if it's just being in a room with other people. You just want to walk in and feel welcome. And I think with soca, the opportunity to do that just naturally and just showing up on a street. I think when we stood there, we had like 10 or 11 people come up to my friends who, you can tell the newbies in the crowd, and it's okay.
Yes.
And so you were so friendly, and you want a drink, you want some rum, come sit down, you want to, and they're like, oh wow, this is amazing. Everybody's so friendly, and everybody's ready to just, embrace each other. And I think that is missing locally in every direction. So like, why not use music to bring that force into being, rather than all the other crazy negative things that we tend to focus on in everyday life. So being part of that whole like club, dare we say, that you people that get to bring that to the masses, I am completely honored to have been asked to do that, and have been, over time, more and more well received, and say, you know what, this crazy girl just might, have taken the time to understand it, and taken the time to respect it, and taken the time to know who we are and what we're about as a people and a culture and a music and the islands and the whole vibration and everything that goes with it. And, it comes from a place of like genuine love and appreciation, because I think what the culture has brought to the planet literally is something everybody should know about. And I'm just doing my part to, help spread the word.
Exactly. So you're a school teacher by day? Yeah.
A girl's got to eat and keep the lights on. So in between shows and my time in Trinidad and my time at carnivals here in the States, as we build, I do teach. I've taught I tend to teach a lot in more inner city schools. I had always taught more minority population students, and students that were either struggling, or their schools were in bad neighborhoods, or they were kind of left behind by, the grand scheme of, segregation or whatever the country has brought into, the world order of who gets to have and who doesn't. So I would just sort of jump in to different locations and places and say, hey, let me bring what I do, which is music. I also actually have a degree in teaching English. So in some cases I would work with students that had dropped out of school and were looking to come back and graduate, or had almost dropped out, and I might teach English classes. I got lucky enough to teach at a school that had a high Caribbean
population.
Those weren't so much, those. Sorry?
I say with a high population, Caribbean population.
Yeah. Yeah. So this particular school wasn't so much for struggling students as far as dropouts or anything. They were all, great kids that had, parents that were concerned and wanted them to do well. But I just got offered an opportunity actually to teach what I was doing in the community. I have a nonprofit organization also called Face the Music that brings music industry careers to at-risk youth and young adults, absolutely free of charge. And I was doing that in the community in Fort Lauderdale, and the when I got a position at a school out in Miramar, they said, why don't you bring what you were doing in the community to our school and make it our music program? And I was like, sold. You don't have to ask me twice.
Yes.
And actually, sorry, go ahead.
I say that's very nice. Yes. Brilliant.
So now what do the inner city kids feel about you when they first see you and then they get to know you and then they really get to know you? Like, what does that do for them? Like, what do you see from the other side?
Well, from the other side, it's one of those things. I think, honestly, when you kind of look at your life, can you say, why does all the, hindsight's 20/20, and when you're looking at different pieces of your life and you're like, what is going on? Like, why am I here? Why, like, what is this for?
Right.
And I think, honestly, it taught me the skill of attempting to win people over in a relatively short amount of time. And it taught me a lot about people's, fears and their, understandable fears, and their worry that the first thing that they would think when they walked in the room was, oh, she's blonde and white, she's stupid, and we can run game and get over, and she'll never know the difference.
Right.
So they learned very quickly that, no, that's not how I roll, and I'm not quite the one to try that one.
Right.
Then it would be, oh, well, anytime, sorry, go ahead.
I think that's terrific, and I think that
it's so cool.
Each day you're touching lives. That's what is important, and I mean, touching lives leaves a positive memory in young people's lives, especially who doesn't have the opportunity.
Right.
So I think you are doing a fantastic job. Just motivating and encouraging and giving children hope.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
And allowing them, I'm sorry, I was going to say just allowing themselves to see themselves in you as well, even if it's whether it's the same ethnicity or just being a female or just being someone who was shy and probably, might have been sheltered, but showing that the world is limitless.
Yes.
Like, I think that's what I see in you, and I think that's so beautiful. But you were saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. No, that's basically what I would try and do, because a lot of the next thing was, okay, first I was an idiot. When they found out that wasn't the case, then, because I said what they didn't like or made them do what they didn't want, then I was instantly racist.
Right.
So I said, listen, of all the places in the whole wide world I could teach, if I didn't want to be in this school, I could probably find another job, since Miami has the third largest district in the entire United States of America.
Right.
So if I really was afraid or racist, I probably wouldn't be choosing to stay here. And I would have those conversations. I say, we would have the real talks and the real conversations. And what I learned more than anything is people understand honesty, and it doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, what your background is. One, people feel when you care, and two, they appreciate when you keep it real. So that's what I try and do. And I kind of took that skill that I learned over literally trying to flip hundreds and hundreds of kids. It wasn't about them liking me. It was about them saying, what are you doing here? Okay, you ended up in this school. I used to work at a school for expelled kids that have been completely kicked out of school.
Right.
And you kind of have to rewire that whole process of, do you feel like you even have a purpose to be on this planet? And many times the answer is no.
Right.
And so you start finding ways through either assignments or through, side pieces or side conversations, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and, finding out more about what these kids are going through at home, and what is it that's blocking them from, if you've got crazy going on at home, sometimes you don't care two licks about playing an instrument or learning how to write a paragraph. Like, it doesn't matter. And I get it. And I can always empathize with that. Say, listen, okay, today we're going to write about you. We're going to write about what you hate, what you love, what you fear, what you hope for, what, and just trying to show them, like, if I'm the only person who looks like me that that acts like me, at least you can say one person that broke the stereotype that you had built up in your mind, because maybe you didn't know anyone could look like me for real, or you had seen it on TV and it was just kind of this, out there thought of what people that look like me are all about, So it was just a lot of each other, who we are, and finding the common thread of we are all human beings that want the same thing. We want joy, we want love, we want laughter,
we want music,
we want fun. Right. And once you get through that,
The rest is like
we'll
gravy, right?
bruises, but we'll get over it.
I know they see you like the Freedom Riders teacher. I know they, you know, right? Because you're able to reach them where they are, and I think it's really that. And you know, I think we share that because I taught for 16 years in a high school in underprivileged neighborhoods, and I think for me it's the idea that I grew up in an underprivileged neighborhood, and now they see me as an educator, and it's like, so Miss, you grew up in the projects and you're a teacher? And I'm like, I'm gangster with a degree. And they're like, oh, okay, Miss. But it's just that idea of being able to reach them and have themselves reflect, you know, and see that, you know, we can do it too. And it just takes someone who actually cares. And they sense that from the beginning. They sense if you're there for a job or you're there for them. You know, they immediately can wean out all the BS.
Absolutely.
So that's really great.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
A lot of what I got was, well, you know, Woody and me, you know, because I didn't come from that. I had a very amazing childhood growing up. Like, I can't say, oh yeah, I fought through that and I was raised by a single mom. Like, I can't have those conversations from a place of experience. But what I can say is, let me tell you something. I might have an inside track on how to play the game from my side, so I can hit you to all the tricks of what I know to get you into a place of success that is a legal place of success that you want to be in, and all I have to do is teach you the rules of how to play. Like, you know the street code, you know the street game, you know all the rules of how to survive that and how to live through that and how to become hopefully successful in some way in that lane. So now let me show you the other side of how you could do this in a completely different way. And I might have a few secrets and tricks up my sleeve that you didn't know because nobody told you that, because nobody wants you to know that.
Right, exactly.
That's so great.
That part is fun.
That's like reverse psychology.
Yes.
That's like reverse psychology.
That's
absolutely
great. Youni-t, how did you come up with that name? I think that's so unique.
Well, the name, I spell it a little bit differently for a couple reasons. One, the Youni is literally you and I, and the T stands for together. It tends to stand more and more for TNT, so it's kind of turning into Youni-t. I picked it because there's so much, and again, you know, teaching taught me the instant gut reaction of people. You don't even get half a second to make a first impression. So if you lead with a foot of trying to help people understand why you're here, I think a name like Youni-t says it all. Like, it's not, you know, glamour blonde bimbo comes to do soca. Like, that's not my stage name. You know, it's like, no, I'm here because I think this is super important, and I think it's, you know, something the world needs. So I come with that. I come from that lane, and I come in peace. Right.
Unity, yes.
Because that's a very real apprehension, and I don't dismiss it. I don't get upset by that, and you know, it's understandable. Like, who are you to come and do soca and do this and this, and you're not from here, and I get it. Like, I'm not gonna be like, well, you know, how come? Why would you say that? I get why you would say that, because culture is a very dear thing to people's hearts. You know, it's who you are as a human being, and if you've had a life or a situation where you've grown up and seen people have that try to be taken away from them. I grew up near the Native American reservation where I grew up, and that taught me a ton about culture and preserving culture and the fights people would have about culture. Who's allowed to do what because somebody else who's not from that culture says so. So I get it. Like, I'm not going to get upset if you look at me like, what are you doing here? I'm like, okay, I feel you. I got you. I get it. I'll take it. But so I figured, let me pick a name that really comes from a place of understanding where I'm coming from, and a place that hopefully lets you let your guard down even for maybe a half a second longer. You want to decide to actually have a conversation with me rather than just get angry and cuss me out and walk away. You know, so
very good.
It's a multifaceted name.
No,
so
it's good.
One shot and two syllables. I figured let's go with that.
That's clever, though.
It's very clever, clever, very nice, and it sticks.
Yes.
So it's good.
So where do you get your inspiration from?
inspiration from all of the soca artists, all the way back to some of the Calypsonians. I've had the pleasure and the honor of meeting, you know, the Lord Nelsons and the Sparrows and you know, the Barons and the Super Blues. You know, you take that history and that legacy, and then to fast forward it into the, you know, the Nylas and the Patrices and the Destras and the Machels and the Kessels. You know, I've had all of it inspires me, because when you're coming into a culture that you weren't raised in,
right,
and you're saying, I really want to help this spread. Like, I really want to do what I can to share this.
right.
And I look at what every artist brings to the table, from top to bottom, left to right, and I say, okay, I see it. Like, and the way people perform, you know, how you perform for Carnival and how Trinidadians perform, and how the genre, the expectation of performance on stage is very, very different than an American stage. I'm used to American stages all my life, obviously. So, you know, figuring out, well, if I can command a crowd in America, that doesn't mean I can command a crowd in Trinidad.
Right, exactly.
For multiple reasons.
Yes.
You know, so being able to literally just watch and learn, like, even if it's not through conversation, just saying, wow, I love what they did there. I see where they're going. I like what they're doing. And that inspires me to say, all right, maybe I'm going to try something a little different. Or maybe now that I've seen that, maybe let me branch out a little further. Let me push the envelope a little bit more, because being that I'm different and I'm from the outside, people at first didn't like the idea that I was bringing different to the game, but now it's kind of become this thing where people look a little bit, the people that have been around, that have seen me for a while, like, some people are just learning of me this year, fine, no problem with that, but the people that have been watching and waiting to see what was going to happen with me are, now it's kind of like, if I do too many things that are similar back to back, because I usually release quite a few songs every year, they kind of say, well, wait, what happened? We're waiting, you know, what's next? What's new? We need something new. We want something different. So then it kind of became a barrier, and now it's kind of a perk, because they expect the crazy white girl to add a little something extra crazy that maybe the other soca artists can't quite get away with as easily, because the culture expects them to remain within and more true to the culture than, you know, or they're not as quick to follow them beyond that level of expectation, to say, well, I don't know, that's a little too far off the soca path for us, but if I do it, you can either, you know, talk smack about me and say I don't know what I'm doing, and you can, you know, dice me up real nice, real
or
quick.
say you can get away with it.
Yes.
It's okay.
yes.
That's good. That's good.
Or you can say, oh, this is something different, and poor girl doesn't know any better. So, all right.
Yes.
You get a pass. That's cool.
So Youni-t, you have different styles of singing, right? Or have it changed over the years?
Styles of singing?
Yes, like,
as far as soca I make, or just in general?
Just in general.
I started very small. I started singing in church when I was 5, like, publicly. So over the years, I've literally, and I was a voice major, so I've sung everything, literally, from opera music to you name it, I've sung it. I've literally sung I think pretty much every genre of music except for death metal and something related to, like, Satan worship. Other than those two, I've pretty much covered, you know, all different angles. I've done R&B, I've done, you know, I've rapped, I've done country, pop, hip-hop, funk, soul, you know, all of those. And so I basically take the training that I had as I was classically trained at university just so I could understand how to use my voice to the best of my ability.
Right.
And I take that technique and I use it in everything that I sing, just because that's, you know, for me, the way to hold on to your voice and make the best of it. So, the way I sing really for soca isn't really different than how I sing for any other genre of music, except if I throw the accent in. Sometimes you'll hear me do it, sometimes you won't. Like the song Welcome Home this year was straight my best shot at Trinidadian.
Yeah, can you give us a little of that? A little of that?
Yes.
But also, other than that, I bring the great thing I love about soca music too is you have to have a big old voice for this genre. Like, you have to be able to pump over thousands and thousands of people. And there was one guy, I will not name his name, and he may not ever remember me in life, but I was at university, and this man, he liked, shall we say, he liked his cocktails. So there was a few times I would come for voice lessons, and he would have, you know, maybe have a few tossed back before I got to my lesson, and he used to just stand in my face, and he would say, louder, sing louder, sing louder. And I would literally stand in that room for my 45-minute lesson, and I would just sing as loud as I could from, like, the bottom of my lung capacity and just belt as loud as I could. And I thought, once again, you're standing in that moment saying, what is happening? Like,
Right.
This is my teacher. I have to do what he says. Why am I screaming like a maniac in this tiny little room at a university that, you know, this is classical music. I'm screaming opera at this point. And when I brought that knowledge and that understanding of how to use my voice in that way, and I heard soca, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can use what I learned then to be able to, you know, project and handle that kind of entertainment, which again is not the norm for many American genres of music. Like, you don't scream your head off, like, you know, over a crowd like that unless you're doing something, you know, on the loud side of the music lane in the States. So it served me well in that way too, unknowingly, until all of a sudden, oh my gosh, there it is. And now it makes sense why I had to, you know, experience that in life so I would be ready. But yeah, so I use it in slightly different ways, but technique is always the same. And then I just play around with the accent, and then depending on how we fuse it, it determines if you get a little more sultry soul in my voice, or you get a little more smooth R&B, or you get like a big rock and roll growl, or you get like, you know, a crazy, you know, soca scream out of the thing. Like, it just kind of, whatever happens, and we let the mic handle the rest.
Right, yes. Nice. So could you give us a little verse or two from the 2023?
Oh, sure. Let's see. First time was a special one. I remember it every day. This year is a different round. I'm ready for the high. I must pay. I never know it feels so good to the body, making my feel so happy. I just wanna free my spirit. That time was amazing. This one will be the greatest. 'Cause I already placed in a trunk inside of the bed, jumping up and down on the rock bed, dripping in sweat. It's on the way.
Yeah. You have pipe. That's what we just say. You have pipe. You can blow.
So
that is terrific.
So
that is terrific. Yes.
I love it.
So is there anybody in particular you want to do a collaboration with?
Oh, well, I say this literally every time someone asks me. I don't have one specific favorite, because it's one of those things where if anybody had the interest to do a collab with me, like if any of the major people in the game were like, wow, I'd really like to collaborate with you, I don't think there'd be any ounce of my being that would be like, well, no thanks.
Very good.
Like,
that's a good answer. It is. Very good answer.
If you're like making a song with me, like, I will happily do the very best I can to make it worth your while. But I mean, of course, who wouldn't want to do a song with any of the majors? Because they all bring something different. You know, I would like to see, I wouldn't mind like a huge girl power track. You know, the one thing that I think is coming more and more now, but initially in soca, it wasn't a lot of collabs back in 2014. It wasn't a lot of collaboration, and especially among the women.
Right.
It was a lot of, you know, obviously all music, you know, has its element of competitiveness, but, you know, soca music and a lot of carnival cultural celebrations are based on competition. So you don't have a lot of people coming together at that time to say, let's do something together. It was more of a
collaboration.
Who's better and who's some All American road marches. And that's all great. But for me, I like to think of kind of in the States how we have like, you know, your Grammy stages, and you just take the baddest people in the game and you just put them all together in one space under one microphone and one spotlight and just let it rip. Like to me, That I think would be amazing to have like a huge collab of, and it doesn't have to be just the women, but to do some kind of a big, collab idea, I think would be really fun. But anybody,
you're open.
I'm down for everybody.
I love that.
That's a great answer.
Yes.
Different to the table.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
And very palatable.
Yeah, I think it's good.
We can see it. That's really nice.
Yes.
I wanted to ask about the accent. Did it just eventually come along from just singing the music?
I think I learned different. I learned different like how to grab the accent in certain. Because I love. Don't get me wrong. I don't just sing my own soca. I love everybody's soca music. So once you sing, it's carnival enough times with Destra, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I get how I would say this a little differently.
Right. Right.
And listening to Trinidadians speak, the time I've spent in Trinidad over the years, and the Trinidadians I know here in the States, it's very, to me, it's a very tricky language to catch, because there's so much of what is being said isn't so much about the words as it is like what I call like the melody you guys put under the words you say.
Sing-songy. I always call it sing-songy.
It's not any other. It's not like any other accent.
Right.
It's not like Britain. You kind of there's certain letters you say differently, but the way Trinidadians not only pronounce words but also add that that melodic thing.
Yes.
Trying to grasp the concept of how to say a word if you're changing the melody in a song.
Right.
Is not the easiest thing to grasp. So it was literally lots of listening, lots of just singing along because I like to sing along. Obviously, I'm a singer, but getting in the studio and really saying, I literally, if you saw the notes that I write for myself in a studio situation with when I'm recording something with the accent, oh my gosh, it's probably like you would all look at it like this is some foreign language crazy that y'all wouldn't even understand. Because I literally phonetically write it out, so when my brain is in sing mode, and my eyes are reading accent mode, I can put it together instantly in that space. Where you're thinking,
creativity.
That's nice.
Think about as you're trying to think and stuff.
I love to hear these responses, right? Because when you hear them, it's like it always looks easier than really what it is. But hearing it, you're like, wow, this takes work. I mean, you make it look so simple and so beautiful. But there
used to be in 2014, there was a whole lot of cussing going on.
Nice.
I would get to the part and I'd be like, I'd hit the note right, I'd have the right word, and I'd say it completely wrong. And like, go again.
Right.
And I would just get so angry. So yeah, there was quite a few, shall we say, bombs dropped in the studio sessions when I was first starting out. Now I'm catching on a little more, and I can say, okay, I have a feel, but it doesn't mean I don't still have to concentrate on it when I'm in that, like when I'm doing it, for an actual take. I'm like, okay, all these elements, you got to put them all together, and not only try and attempt. It's not like, okay, if you go to Cuba, and if you can fake your way into Spanish, into being able to buy what you need, or figure out where you're going, or get directions, people are like, okay, I can understand you well enough. Like, I love y'all Trinidadians, but y'all are tough. So I couldn't just halfway figure out the accent. Like,
you have to dive in completely, right? That's cool.
As it should be. So, okay, let me just really work on it. So it's trying to master it in a way that the masters say, okay.
Yeah.
Well
exactly.
Said. Well said.
Anthony Joseph is saying that Miami Junior Carnival, where she got a chance, that was your first place to perform?
Absolutely. Tony Joseph, that is, I'm trying to think now. Let me think. He was definitely instrumental in helping me put a dent in this game here in the States.
Nice.
All right, Tony.
Big up.
Yeah. Preacher from Trinidad helped me get
Preacher.
into...
Oh, yeah. Preacher is good, too. Yeah.
Trinidad film. Yeah, but here in the States, Tony really did me a lot of solids for a lot of years, and he put me in Kitty's Carnival, and he let me do the main stage at Miami over and over again. And I tell you what, it's not easy. You don't get to just walk and be like, hey, can I be on the stage?
Right, yeah,
right. Like, sure, come on, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Sound just like her.
Just like a Trinidadian.
That's nice.
Sorry?
I say it song like a Trini. Nah.
I just got back from Trinidad a few days ago, so there's a little stuck in there still. But I actually think, if I think about it, I think Preacher actually introduced me to Tony Joseph.
Yeah, that's his friend. That's his friend. Yeah. They are both friends.
That was 2016, 17, somewhere in there. Yeah. And then he, I had to,
work
him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on, Tony, how about this year? And he's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. So I give utmost thanks to him for that, because that, Miami Carnival is a well-known carnival, and to be able to say that I take that stage regularly is a huge, huge step for me. So I 100% appreciate Mr. Tony Joseph for dropping the ball, raising me on the stage, and letting me do my thing.
Very good, very good. God yes, he's awesome. On the live. He's on the live right now. Yeah.
Nice. Hello, thank you.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you a question. How do you deal with the critics? How has that been for you?
Well, you learn very early on that either you're going to grow a thick skin or you're going to take your ball and go home crying. So I luckily, I don't know why, but my mother always said, if there's something that you want me to do in life or in general, just tell me not to do it, and I will make sure it gets done. So for the critics that say, no, and not your lane, and you can't do it, and this isn't for you, and who do you think you are? I lovingly, honest to God, lovingly say, I hear you, I feel you, I understand, but you know what, at the end of the day, this doesn't come to serve me as a human being. This isn't about me taking soca with me to big stages in America and claiming, look what I invented.
Right.
This isn't about me.
Right.
This is about, this is a we thing. Oh, yeah? Don't you guys say that? So it needs to be. To me, it needs to be. And so if I have to, somebody's got to do it. It's like, you look at Eminem, you look at Tiger Woods, you look at, the Williams sisters. Like, if everybody just only accepts what they've only seen, then we never get any further than we already are. And we're not as far we're nowhere near as far as we need to be. So I've got to take the licks and the kicks and the fight down and the cuss outs and the blocks and the stabs and the jabs and the the mess talk. I'll do it.
Right.
It's cool, because at the end of the day, I know why I do what I do. Hopefully, other people will learn to understand. Even if they don't like it, they'll say, okay, at the end of the day, I have been coming every single year to Trinidad since 2014 until I got locked out because of COVID. But I was right back there this year. So I understand that other people have come and gone. One song done. Ooh, I went to Trinidad and I did my thing, and that's okay. Like, it's each his own. But if there's one thing you can say about me is I've stuck in the game.
Very good.
I haven't given up. And I haven't changed lanes. And I haven't said, well, I've had enough of this. Let me go make a pop song.
Right.
And if I did, so be it. But for me, if I tell people I'm going to do something, and if I'm asked to become part of something, I say to myself, this to me is important enough to fight for.
Right.
Because if nobody fights for it, then it's either going to disappear, or people are going to live so long without it, and we could have been living with it together for so much longer if somebody just had the
unity,
the will and the guts to say, I'll take it for the team. So I'm taking it for the team.
Yes.
You represent your name so well.
Yes.
Right?
You hug someone long enough, sooner or later they're going to hug you back.
Exactly.
So I feel like this year I got a little hug back. So I appreciate that.
Well, you got a big hug from us too.
Yes. And Mr. Noon, he's saying that soca is in your blood. It's in your blood.
Oh, thank you. I will take that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Delia is saying, what message would you like to leave with people?
The message I would like to leave with people is the thing I end every single segment, interview: peace, love, and unity. It's what I'm about. It's why I'm here. It's my name. It's what I'm in this for. It's why I do what I do. And, you know, if we all just loved each other a little more collectively, that goes for everybody, not just whoever, wherever. If we all as human beings just said, let's just love each other a little more.
Yes.
The world would go a long way.
Such a better place. So that's the message. The message is I do this for everybody else to understand and become part of. I don't do it to elevate myself to some, you know, and I know I get some pushback about, well, how can you be called the queen of, you know, how can you call yourself the Ivory Queen of Soca? Well, here's the thing. If you really think about what I'm saying, I can call myself the Ivory Queen of Soca because I'm the only white girl in this game. So all the white girls, I'm the best one.
Exactly. Right. Yes. Yes.
I'm the queen, Soca. I'm just the white queen. And I think I learned that piece.
Exactly.
So I just want to force like that. So not to step on any of the other queens' toes. I love you ladies. You're all amazing. Or any of the king's toes. But I have to say, if anybody comes after me in this lane, in this genre, and wants to get interested in it, and just like, you know, Denise Plummer did her thing, and, you know, I met her backstage back in 2019 at a Christmas show in Trinidad, and she was amazing, and she was so, like, regal and royal and fabulous and everything that you would hope she would be. She was, and she gave me a hug, and she said, welcome to Soca, to Trinidad, and, you know, if people just did that instead of getting all worked up and all in their feelings and all worried about, you know,
so much
this, that, and the other,
it would be a bit
so much easier. Like, it would be grand. So the message is peace, love, and unity.
Peace,
and we'll all be living happier.
Yeah. We have Tigress on too. Tigress is watching the program. And yes, Tigress is here. Delia is saying, and you definitely Ivory Queen of Soca. Now I'm only listening. Oh, Tigress says she's listening, right? Yes.
Well, from the queen herself, Queen Tigress on the line in the building, so let me do my curtsy and my bow. Yeah, gotta love the Tigress. So I'm happy she's tuned in. And it's great seeing you or hearing you across the lines. Yes, another icon in the game. So she's done great things to help me as well. She invited me to do the Soca section of an event they did online during COVID from Cocoa Beach, when, you know, we were a little more open than everybody else in the world as far as our ability to have events. So she invited me on, and again, you know, there's been people along the way. Every single person that's done anything for me, I appreciate, because nobody can do anything for me.
No
like,
man is an island.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So Tigress, like the whole camp, the whole you know, Preacher Tigress, Tony Joseph, like there's so many people I can't even begin to name them. But the ride or dies that have been riding since 2014, like, love you, because without them and without all the people that listen to them, I would not be doing anything. I'd be right now eating a bowl of cereal and, you know, getting my lesson plans ready for tomorrow, and that would be my life. And that's okay. But this is what my passion is. So I appreciate everybody for helping me live my dream just by doing every piece that they can to help me get one more, you know, step closer. All of us one step closer. So
Beyond the Borders Calypso Crew. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. Tigress is saying Beyond the Borders Calypso Crew. Yes. Beyond the Borders.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the full name. Yes, it was the Beyond the Borders competition. I think it was like correct. Help me out, Tigress. It wasn't really. It was a competition between crews, but it was more for raising funds as well, right?
Yeah, I think she said Beyond the Borders Calypso Crew.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were the crew that made up the states. We were outside of the Trinidad.
Right.
Of the Trinidad
Beyond the Borders.
Anyway.
Yes. So I have two more things I wanted to ask you before you leave. Your signature. I notice you have your hair tie up all the time, and then we have a trivia for you.
Okay.
Yes. What goes with the your bandana?
What? Sorry, what was the question?
Your bandana that you wear, different colors. That's your signature?
It is. That is my signature look. It's part of who I am as a person and what I believe between myself and the universe and the powers that be. I keep keep the hair tied and keep the head tied to keep everything as it needs to be. So, you know, I can keep doing what I do. And, you know, it's kind of I've become known for it, my little kind of signature statement look, I guess you could say to some. But yeah, so, you know, I have about, you know, 10 million of these floating around the house. So I think I've one in every shade of every color.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
That's nice.
Okay, so now we reach to the segment where we have a little trivia. Phillia and I will go 1-1-1. It's called Ditch It or Keep It.
Pitch it or keep it?
Ditch it.
Oh, ditch it or keep it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good. Number 1.
All right.
Miami Carnival or Trinidad Carnival?
Oh, goodness gracious. You're trying to get people mad at me from every corner of the globe. Is there a plead the fifth?
Well, you could say you keep.
You can say you can keep both.
Yeah, you can say you can keep
Can
it.
I keep both?
Yeah.
You can keep both.
Okay.
We got you.
Yeah.
You can text us the real answer.
You guys are making me
Okay.
commit career suicide.
I know.
I know, right?
Okay. Chicken roti or goat roti?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I like both.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? Ditch it or keep it?
Yeah.
Tigress will be
I would keep
cheating.
both.
Hold on, pause. Tigress say, nah. All it cheating. She has to pick one.
Like, no, you're like, keep everything.
Okay.
Let me keep everything.
Hey.
Honestly, I'm more veggie roti kind of girl, but I do eat both the goat and the chicken. So if I'm feeling a little more exotic, I might go goat. If I'm feeling a little bit more American, I might go with a little more chicken. But generally, I do veggie. So
okay.
I'll eat all three.
Trinidad. Okay. Tigress want to know Trinidad or Miami. You have to answer. You have to answer.
Wherever you go, Tigress, I want to be where you are.
Yes.
To hang out.
Good answer.
To perform.
Good answer.
Trinidad, I'm picking Trinidad. You're in Miami.
Tigress is funny.
All right.
Okay.
I know, right? Okay, spring break or winter break?
Oh, spring break.
Okay.
Yeah, I would keep.
Tigress says that the answer.
The only piece of winter break I would keep and not ditch is snow on Christmas with my family.
Okay.
Because I'm used to that.
All right.
And that's what that means to me. But I can easily ditch snow all day long. It's why I moved to Miami in the first place. So
Nice.
I would ditch winter break and I would keep spring break for sure.
Okay. How about R&B music or jazz music?
I will definitely say, okay, sound-wise, I prefer to listen to R&B. I didn't grow up in a lot of jazz. Jazz is not something I was extremely familiar with, so it never became I didn't really get deep into it as a musician or a vocalist. Mm-hmm. I can appreciate the difficulty of it. I wasn't a jazz band for a minute,
right.
But I am not a phenomenal improviser on an instrument, so I can appreciate and respect the grind of a jazz musician, is mind-blowing. But as far as sound, the thing about jazz for me is I don't know if it's because I'm a singer or just like I say, I didn't grow up in jazz. I'm always looking for the part I can sing along with. And in jazz, everything changes all the time, so I can't ever grab anything. So improv jazz, but it's like a smooth jazz song. Okay, but I would keep R&B for sure. I will honor the hustle and the artistry that goes into jazz, but for listening, I would ditch jazz for R&B.
Okay,
all right. Okay.
No offense, jazz musicians. I know a lot of jazz musicians. I love you all. Do your thing. I love you all so much. But I have to pick one.
No, we got
all right. Memorial Day or Christmas Day?
Oh.
You gotta pick one because right now, Youni-t, are getting heat for this Miami or Carnival. They still want you to answer. They don't want the two. Yeah, they say you have to pick one.
Okay. Can I say this? Can I say this?
Yes.
Let me not use the word ditch because I feel the word ditch is too harsh. But here's the thing. I will say nothing beats the Trinidad Carnival experience for a full experience of being on the road with millions of people and the freedom of
Trinidad Carnival it is. Tigress, you get it?
Yes. Yes.
We good.
I love my Miami Carnival. Tony Joseph's been good to me. I will not disrespect Miami Carnival. However, you do not get the same effect just because of the limit that the city puts on the event itself.
Right.
So because of that factor, I would have to nod the Trinidad direction. If people are looking for the ultimate carnival experience,
then Trinidad
is the place to go.
And
is that okay?
Good answer.
And Tigress say the end.
All right.
All right.
I guess you got your answer.
Yes, right?
Okay.
Okay. We know Wisconsin is good for cheese. So we have two types: Red Rock cheese or Savaccio Parmesan cheese.
Oh my gosh, are you sure you're in Wisconsin for those cheese guys?
Well, that's what came up. But what kind of cheese you guys have?
Oh, I mean, where I grew up, you know, dairy farmers everywhere. We're not fancy with our cheese.
Right.
We're about cheddar. We're about mozzarella.
Nice.
We're about some Swiss.
Yes.
Fancy schmancy stuff. I mean, it's out there. Do your thing, rock it out. But for me, give me some mild cheddar. Give me some good.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
That's more up our alley too.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Next one.
Frank Sinatra or Michael Jackson?
Oh, Jackson. Sorry,
All right.
Frank, I love you, but
Okay.
Okay. Calypso Rose or Destra?
you say Calypso Rose or Destra?
Yeah, you gotta pick one. Pick one and ditch the other.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Ditch is hard, but
okay. For the sheer longevity in the game and what she brought as a female to the entire genre that evolved for all of us to be able to do anything in soca or calypso, I have to bow to the queen, Miss Rose.
Nice.
Love you, Destra.
Good choice.
I will say, Destra's song, It's Carnival, literally, this is no joke, and I'm not just saying this so Destra isn't mad at me, because to be honest, I've never officially met Destra face to face, but I will say it, I've said it in other interviews, not just making this up, her song, It's Carnival, is the reason I said yes to soca music. When I heard that particular song, I said, I can do that, and that, yes, I'm down.
Nice.
So,
yeah,
very nice. As well, but the Queen Miss Rose, I have to ride with her on this one.
And you know why I put Destra too with Rose for you, because I know Destra does a lot of genres like how you do, ballets and different things, and I know you skillful with that too. So that's why I put it was a good balance.
Yeah.
When I think of Rose, she's the queen. She you know, but I wanted Destra there because she's a balance, because she does similar like you. Yeah.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
All right, so we going next one: power soca or groovy soca?
Did you say power or groovy? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's a difference, eh? It's a difference.
Oh.
Power is
Let me think.
pace. Groovy is more la la la.
I would say, wow, they both bring their own element. If I had to pick one and only one to represent soca and the carnival experience, I would say power. I would say power.
Okay, good. Okay, all right.
Hats or scarves?
Oh, I'm a scarf.
Jeans or that.
I'll rock a hat, but a scarf is home.
Exactly. So. I rock a hat with a scarf.
All the above.
Jeans or tights? Or leggings?
Leggings.
Now, I'll put it this way. I am a farm girl at heart as far as growing up in nature and all that. If it's a nice pair of baggy jeans, all day long.
Okay.
But if it's like fitted stretch jeans, you know, the kind that
like jeggings,
so like have to do everything in, tie up now, like leggings, just because it's slightly breathe and I don't have to put a button in the middle of my navel. So I'm a jeans girl. If I must say, I'm really a loose baggy jeans girl at heart. But
wow.
for the good of The collar.
Okay.
Yes.
I wear lots of tights.
Nice.
We have four more. We nearly finished. Jean,
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken or fish?
Fish.
Okay.
All right.
Fish for sure.
Wine or beer?
Bacon shark, preferably.
Oh, yeah? Ooh, bacon shark. I love it.
Yeah.
Wine or beer?
Wow. Okay. I hope my mom's not listening to this. I grew up on beer, not in my house, because if I felt like being naughty here and there, I'd go out with friends. I would have to say I'm more probably a beer girl in general, but in the past few years, I have found a few wines that I do like, but I'm more of a
Beer?
grew up in the beer realm.
I was
Switched
thinking
to
you
those
with the
wine
jeans,
realm.
the scarf, like beer batter, fish fry. With, you know, it just sounds like it goes with the territory.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, why not?
Yes.
I haven't had beard battered fish, you have
Right.
not lived. Especially from the
Exactly.
Midwest,
So this
it
is what I'm
the
picturing
the
when you're
world.
saying beer. I'm like, ooh, beer batter, fish.
Yes.
Okay, we have
Absolutely.
2 more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Walking,
Okay.
walking or running?
Oh, walking.
And last but not least,
I work out. I hate working out, but I always tell people
This is color, right?
I only run when I'm on fire. Even then, they say you're not supposed to run. So
Right.
if you make me run, I will. But I'd much rather walk.
Okay, last but not least, colors.
Colors. Black or red? What's your color?
Oh wow. I wear a lot of black, but I love the energy of red.
Okay.
Like you see me on stages, I wear, especially here, I wear a lot of black on stage.
Okay.
But red for the energy. If I just had to pick a color that I would gravitate to for like
Red.
different things,
Yes.
you know, probably red. Yeah.
And you
Okay.
have on the red scarf, so it's
Yeah,
cool. It
exactly,
goes.
right?
This is wonderful. Thank you. You have been
Really?
so
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
I mean, just the energy. We love what you have to say. We see why your kids love you. We see why the people love you.
Yes.
And thank you so much.
Thank
We're so
you
honored to
very
have you
much.
on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Oh, it was my honor. Absolutely. I so thank you for your time and for even caring to have this
Of course.
extremely long conversation.
That's
I loved
okay.
it. It's amazing. A lot of people just are like, why do you do Soca? And then they go off to talk to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
So being able to tell even more about me, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well,
for
I
having me. It
mean-
was my pleasure. Thanks to everybody tuning in.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
Youni-t, I met you a lot of time with Delia at Miami Carnival. But this year I really get to see
Right.
more of you with the interview with
Right.
Ojo World. And then I see a different
Right.
part of you, you
Right.
know? So then I was
Right.
like, you know what? Youni-t will be good for the program.
Right.
Because this program is all
Okay.
about each one teach one.
Right.
You know? And we just
Right.
spreading love, spreading togetherness, spreading unity, spreading the love.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And
There you go.
I must say,
That's
don't
right.
be a
Thank you.
stranger. Don't be a
No.
stranger.
No.
You want to
No.
come back and talk
You
about
either.
another topic?
Now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
you're
we
welcome.
open because this program is we talk about all different type of topics.
Right.
You know, so
Sure.
so you know you always welcome to come back. Thank you for taking the time.
Yes.
Tigress is
Thank
saying
you.
blessings for the year ahead.
Blessings.
Give my love to Son
Everybody.
and
Thank you so much for
Pami.
having me.
Yeah, Pami. Love in the house. Yes.
Yes. And thank you, Tony, Tigress, for
Thank you for-
introducing
yes.
her.
Yes.
And we love Unity. And thank you all so
And I'm
much.
sure this is not the last we're gonna see
Not at
or
all,
hear
not at
about
all.
you.
Mhm.
And now everybody can put a name
Yeah,
to the
to the
face,
face,
and they
to
know
the
a
voice.
little about you, right?
Yes.
And that powerhouse.
Right.
So
Powerhouse.
Jake, give us some, give us another stuff to close out.
Yeah, let's close out
Yeah,
with
yes.
that powerhouse voice
Yes.
of yours.
Something else. All right, I've got a soca song that I call Love. We'll end it on a love tip.
Okay.
It's freedom bringing spirits to life. Rise up, we gotta live in this moment. No matter where you're from, let us come together, united by the sound of the movement. We bouncing, we moving, keep grooving, here, one heart, one soul, one voice. Oh, singing one love.
We love you.
Love it.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank you.
And this month is Women's Month.
So
yes.
thank you so much.
So we honoring the women.
Yes.
Thank you for opening this month,
Yes.
March month. First woman on.
Yeah.
We honor you and thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Youni-t.
My pleasure, my
Yes.
honor. It's completely mine. Thank you. And I know we'll be talking very
We
soon.
will.
Yes.
Thanks so much for everyone that tuned in.
God bless.
Okay, thank you. Have a blessed night.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
You're
Have a
welcome.
blessed
Bye,
week,
guys.
everyone. Okay.